Yeah, I said about how you probably have over 100
I don't think I got
figures. Yes, you do.
100.
100 easy. Edit this out.
Okay.
So you have a firm 98 figures in this room. Easily over 100 if you count those little action figures.
Oh, the ships, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not just the ships. You got a stormtrooper on a Speedo.
Here's the next
Speeder.
question. Speedo. I got a stormtrooper and a Speedo up there.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that one.
We don't talk about Bruno.
We do. The next question. What's the monetary value of these walls?
Your belts alone is probably a couple grand easy. Some of them because
that one is $1,000 on its own.
Yeah.
The TNA one's $750. The one next to it, the other TNA one.
Yep.
That's another $800. The one right there, I got for $200, but it goes easy for $500 because none of those are made anymore.
You probably got $3 to $5 grand in belts alone.
WEC would probably go for between $600 and $700. I got it for $180. That Smoking Skull, that depends, maybe $400 or $500 now, but it's the first WWF one, not E. And then there's a bunch of customs, which that's really the person, depends.
I'm telling you, in belts alone, you probably have close to between $3 to $5 grand.
Say on average, the ones I do and sell are like $400, give or take 100 or two.
I'm just saying.
And then guitars.
Oh God.
I still know the prices that I paid, starting from the end, excluding paint job, $40, $800. I think that was $60. $500.
Yeah.
$400.
Yeah.
$400.
Yeah.
$100. $200. $200 or $300. No, I think that was $300. That one's yours. I didn't pay anything for it. Yeah. And then I think there's 5 or 6 guitars I've sold over the years. What the hell was that? $1,700? Oh, the acoustic, which that was just given to me. But that was, I think that's like a $400 or $500 thing because it came with like an amp and everything. It's Randy, what's his face from America's Got Talent? You know, the black guy.
Randy Jackson.
Yeah, it's his signature. My brother had it and he gave it to me. I was like, well, I got an acoustic electric now. Now I just got to get a computer. I opted on the computer. I'm going to get that.
Nice.
For recording music and everything again.
You got to go for a PC? Gaming to go?
I don't know. That I don't know. The computer I want because it's a better computer for editing. It's a better computer for just doing music again.
Yeah.
And doing a custom everything. I was like, I want that over gaming right now. So, especially with like this whole spiel kind of picking up.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna opt for that because video games is a waste of time. Fun, it's a blast, but it's not getting me anything. So I was like, well, I better be the responsible child at heart and get the thing that's gonna actually
fuck that responsible child at heart.
I don't do game streaming.
My responsible child is gonna touch that responsible child.
Maybe one day I'll make enough money off this and your responsible child can get paid by my responsible child. Wait, are we talking about kids now? Or are we talking about us? I don't know.
There's a whole lot of touching going on. That's all I know.
Welcome back, buddy.
What's going on? Welcome back to you too as well.
Yeah, welcome back to me.
Because
it's only been a week. We only missed like 1 or 2 days.
I know.
Just Mother's Day and birthday celebrations and
I know.
Whatever.
Happy Mother's Day, by the way. I feel like you deserve
Thank
that.
you. I'm a Mother's Day. So a busy week this week.
Yeah.
Busy week in news this week. Roe V Wade first draft dropped, and that's some spicy meatball.
That is burning up some wires.
Yeah, what?
Oh
no, there is.
No, in social media as a whole, that's like a big topic because now you're hearing everybody go back and forth again. You know, well, if a woman can give a baby, a man should be able to give up the rights to the child or not give the responsibility to the child. And once again, it's going back to women. Well, no. Well, then you can't give the baby. But I can. Then he can give the parental consent, the parental responsibility. No.
I just had this discussion with her today, and she's actually for And I clearly am not. But I told her, is like one of the biggest arguments, and it even came up with that discussion, is like, well, what about rape and incest? I'm like, that is it's less than 1% of all of the cases. Like, and that's a thing they go to all the time. We'll get into it, but
yeah.
So the Roe v. Wade thing dropped, and at the same time that dropped, the Pfizer documents were leaked, or not leaked. They were supposed to come out. The Roe v. Wade draft leaked. The Pfizer information on the vaccine that came out the first of the month, and there's some more spicy stuff in that. The J&J thing with the vaccine, where
Johnson & Johnson,
they restricted it. Then CDC tracking people, the 2,000 Mules documentary, the mega crowd statement by Joe Biden. There's a whole bunch of shit to get to. So we'll start with the spiciest one that I really kind of wish we had a woman right now on the show, because it would get a hot I guarantee it'd be a hot discussion.
Yeah, Amber Heard shitting on Johnny Depp's bed.
That too. I wanted to cover a little bit of that too, because there's some stuff.
Oh my God, I'm seeing so many TikTok videos. She almost pulled a Heard turd.
Not even that. But the thing that's going on TikTok a lot and YouTube Shorts is her statement with, "My dog stepped on a bee." And she had that weird face, like, what was that?
And even she was like, "Oh shit, I got."
But I like legitimately though, what was that? My dog stepped on a bee. Like, what happened to you? I think she had a stroke.
Speaking,
she's having an episode.
Actually, and I've kind of been withheld on saying this to people, because people was like, "Yeah, did you see the face she made? Like, she realized I'm an idiot."
I don't know why.
That's not that's an addict speaking. One addict recognizing another addict. That's an involuntary muscle spasm that, like, you ever hear some people?
Yeah,
it's post-nasal drip. If you
people were talking about her
taking the bump,
during the court. I'm like,
she did the right motions, because.
Did you also see the thing with her, the motion she made when she was crying, and she looked over, and people are, this is what people are saying, I don't know if there's any validity to it, but she looked over to her publicist or PR or whatever, and she gave a nod, then she went, like she was crying, went to blow her nose, paused for a prolonged period of time, and then continued to blow her nose like it was for photos. I watch it, I'm like, you hear it, and you're like, come on. There's no way. Because they're on national television. There's no way that she's going to make that kind of motion or whatever. And then I watch it, I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. And is it me? Or does that seem like really bad acting on her
Have you
part?
seen her in Aquaman?
Now, Iron Man. She's in Iron Man?
Aquaman.
Oh, Aquaman.
Yeah, she was in Iron Man. She was one of the dead bodies. That ends up you end up breathing. You're supposed to be dead.
Well, that's like
my dog said on a bee.
60s, 70s, and 80s. After you brought it up a few shows ago, I actually was like, all right, plus it was blowing up on social media. I was like, I better pay attention to it. So I have some kind of input. And lucky for me, I paid attention the same week that she took the stand.
Oh, God.
So Jen Psaki had crocodile tears. I'm not really sure what those tears were. There were no tears. There was no tears. She was crying with no tears. So she is severely dehydrated.
It's a defense. No, you know what it is? It's a diversionary tactic for the body.
You mean like shitting in someone's bed? Was that a defense mechanism?
She realizes.
Throw him off.
She realizes that in order to keep herself in the Hollywood scene, she's gonna have to fuck her way back to the top. So rather than let the moisture come out of her eyes, she's channeling it down to her vagina.
I like how we start the show with the most important topic. Pfizer, FDA,
Heard turd.
Roe v. Wade.
So
yeah, I think I'll take second seat here. We got this important thing with Johnny Depp and this turd. It was. You hear Johnny Depp talking about it?
Yeah.
We have what kind of dogs they have? They have Pomeranians.
Yeah.
I think that's a dog. So, I spend a lot of days with them, and that didn't come from them because I clean up their fun.
A mega pint. It's a mega pint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you say somebody actually?
You had a mega pint, like as opposed to what other kind of pint? Like what?
Did you see somebody actually came out with an alcohol with a drink name?
See, that I think is brilliant. To all the people that put out products, you have to watch things like this. Things like this trial, this Amber Heard and Johnny Depp,
yep.
and any of the other ones. And whenever there's this thing that happens that's just so bonkers, everyone's talking about it. If it has some kind of marketing something, a seed of something, you gotta jump on it. Now you're telling me there's some whatever, a mega pint something or other.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Because it sells itself. It's free publicity.
Well, so
you have Johnny Depp talking about it.
Amber Heard's legal team, the prosecutor, defense, whatever. Her lawyer goes, and you pour yourself a mega pint. He goes, a mega pint. Happy hour at any time, I guess. He goes along those lines.
Yeah.
But then it's Captain Sparrow's something wine, the home of the mega pint.
This stuff just sells itself.
Oh my God.
There was one thing a couple days ago that did come out that through most of this stuff I've been watching it and listening to it. And to me, I was like, this is a home run for Johnny Depp. I just don't see how this can go any other way. It's just impossible. It can't go any other way. But then a couple days ago, there was audio that Amber Heard's team brought of Johnny Depp talking about killing him. And not killing himself, but cutting himself. And Amber was trying to talk him down from it. And I've listened to that. I'm like, oh, unless there's something majorly out of context here that's not being brought up or brought to light yet or at all. I was like, that doesn't necessarily like make it so it doesn't go in Johnny's favor. But I'm like, that's kind of eye-opening, and that might make people go, So does he have severe mental issues here where he's talking about cutting himself?
I mean, there's a slew of different ways to look at it. I mean, was the physical and mental abuse so bad that he resorted to cut himself? Does he suffer from psychological issues to the point where he does want to self-harm?
Good point.
Does he have enough chemical addictions to where it is causing? Because, I mean...
Is he clean now or no?
I believe he's clean. I don't know.
Okay, I don't know.
But, I mean, look at a lot of meth heads and crackheads and stuff like that. They have the sword that they'll constantly pick.
Right.
Self-harm. It's one way, shape, or another.
Yeah, the whole time watching Amber Heard, like, while Johnny was on the stand talking or being questioned, the camera always went to Amber, and she always looked like so distraught and like actually legitimately sad. And I believed that until she took the stand, like I said. And whatever acting she went, I was like, why? I am not an actor. But I know a good movie when I see one, and a good actor. And whatever she was doing was, you could barely say was acting. It was, unless maybe that's just how she is when she's sad. She's just so animated, and it's just almost ridiculous. But wow, if not, that was bad. It was so bad. It was, a lot of people are comparing it to Kristen Stewart.
Oh.
from Twilight.
Twilight, Isabella.
Yeah. They're comparing her tears to those tears from the movie. Now, I've seen a couple of those Twilight movies. And yeah. I can agree with it.
Oh my God, they're eating her.
And then they're going to eat me.
Oh my God.
That's pretty much on par.
I think that was better acting than what Amber Heard
probably
did.
was. At least that was watchable.
Yeah.
Like
Nilbog. Wasn't the movie called Troll?
Troll 2.
It was Troll 2.
That was Troll 2. The best worst movie.
But they lived in the town of Nilbog.
Goblin.
It's Goblin backwards.
Yeah, but no one picked up on that. It's like Alucard. in the old Dracula movies.
Oh yeah,
The Alucard.
Alucard.
Dracula backward. Actually, I think in one of the movies they did pick up on that. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
Let's start the show with Johnny Depp's abysmal. You know, I kind of feel bad for both of them. That's got to suck having cameras in the courtroom, nationally televising this, like all your shit, especially Amber's shit. Literally. Because now that is stuck to her name.
Oh,
and didn't they have pictures of it?
yes.
That's beautiful. Thank you, court system.
No.
Even though I just said that's kind of fucked up, but boy, some great gems come out of stuff like that. What are you doing?
Playing with it.
For everyone listening and not watching, it's
He's
the
talking about
microphone.
Yeah, microphone.
Step up to the mic.
Take your mouth off the mic, Charlie. Oh wait, that's my mic. Well, whatever.
Oh my god.
So, oh, speaking of which, yeah, I'm gonna do that really quick while we're doing this. So let's go into Roe versus Wade.
All right.
You're gonna have to fill me in on a little bit. Let's create a TikTok.
Oh god. All right. So, the first draft of Roe v. Wade was leaked. Now it was, let's say Monday. It's the 9th. It was last Tuesday, I believe. A draft of Roe v. Wade. Whoa.
I'll finish that TikTok. Go ahead, sorry.
Okay. A draft of Roe v. Wade was leaked, showing the Supreme Court overturning the 1973 verdict of making or having the abortion
up to the first trimester
federally regulated, basically making it legal across the states on a federal level.
Yeah,
which that is supposed to be protected by the 10th Amendment, and it's not supposed to be federally regulated. So it was technically never even supposed to have been a thing, according to the Constitution. What they did not technically yet, when this draft was leaked, a lot of people started going crazy. Even you, I sent it to you because I was at work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I texted you. I was like, well, apparently they're going to overturn this. And then it came out, it was a draft. I was like, oh, it's a draft. Never mind.
And I remember my exact response was, wait a minute, so abortions are going to be illegal now?
Yeah, and it doesn't make it illegal. It just makes it controlled on a state level now. So
but,
New York could be legal, Pennsylvania could be illegal, and so on and so forth.
Real quick, though, here's the night, and I'm glad that's how I responded. Because now that I've looked into it a little bit, I'm like, wow. Here I was this whole time thinking Roe v. Wade was the only reason women could have an abortion.
No.
And the point I'm bringing up, the point I'm trying to make with that, bringing up that statement, that thought process behind my head, was, do you know how many people are misinformed with that concept? Exactly.
An unbelievable amount. A lot of people. Amount. Yeah. And your response was not unique at all. Because there's so many people, especially the people that are screaming right now about it.
Oh, yeah.
Are horribly misinformed. They think Roe v. Wade is the reason why it was legal. And now that it looks like it's going to be anyway, be overturned next month, I think. Now, a lot of people are like, well, it's going to be illegal. It's like, no, it's not. It's just the federal government has no business being involved in those decisions.
Yep.
And in Roe v. Wade in 73, it said, well, we are. And I'm like, well, according to the 10th Amendment, you shouldn't be at all. And then somehow it got through.
Yeah.
Well, now it's me. All right, we're not going to deal with that. And of course, Democrats are pushing it. It's like, look, they're trying to take women's rights away. Well, no. They're just basically correcting something that should have never have been there. It has nothing to do with their rights. Now it's just regulated state to state, which should have been anyway.
I agree.
And that's not me arguing for or against abortion. That's me arguing for the Constitution. If we're going to have a bill, a piece of paper that says this is what things we can and can't do, we should probably fucking abide by it.
Well, I'm not bringing this up because I'm not trying to swing your decision or your opinion one way or the other. I think I've said this before on a previous podcast. I am 100% for abortion. But here's the problem that I'm realizing people are also taking this possible overturn of the Roe v. Wade someone actually said to me, well, what that means is they could actually have the baby aborted up to 30 days post-delivery. Think. I'm going to count to 3 out loud. I want you to let that statement resonate. 1, 2, 3. This person literally said, well, that means if they overdo that, that means it's going to be state regulated, which means they could have, they're going to allow abortions up to 30 days post-delivery.
This person you're talking about isn't completely wrong. But that's something they've already done. There's a video in Virginia, I think it's the governor of Virginia, I can't remember the name, talking about delivering infants and resuscitating them. This is infants that have some kind of issue. Resuscitating them, keeping them comfortable, and then discussing with the parents what to do with them after, whether to terminate them post-delivery or not.
Okay, that's the news to me then.
That's a few years old. That Alex Jones actually brought that one up.
Because here I am thinking, hey, idiot, you do realize, like, after the baby's born, healthy and whatnot, that's murder. That's not an abortion. The baby's born. The baby's living and breathing now.
One argument that I thought was actually very brilliant was, like, I'm not really for abortion, but I'm also not someone that's gonna, like, press to make it all illegal or anything like that. Like, you got to do what you got to do. I'm not a woman, so I don't have a major say in that argument. My personal opinion, I'd rather be, not for it, but you do what you do. But saying that, when a man or anybody, when somebody murders a woman whom is pregnant and the baby's lost also, in most courts across the United States, there's 2 charges of manslaughter. Mm-hmm. One for the woman, or one for the parent, and one for the child. But then they say, well, a lot of leftists or progressives don't consider the child a viable person
until the first
breath. It was like, how do you, like, that's...
See, here's and that's the thing, like, and that's where people get disgusted a lot when I discuss my points of my view on that point. I hate to say it like this, but people will sit there and say, "Oh, the baby has a heartbeat at 6 weeks. Good for the baby," but the life actually starts the minute those cells divide. That's technically a living organism. Mm-hmm. Whether it's got a heartbeat or not, cells dividing and multiplying and replicating, whatever, that's life in an essence. And people will say, well, then you should, you can't kill people. You can't kill. It's a life. It's a living thing. I can't kill it. I can kill a tree. That's a living thing. Fuck, I can go chop a 100-year-old tree down. I'm murdering a 100-year-old living organism. Well, the point I'm making, I'm not trying to compare humans to plants.
Greta Thunberg might be pissed at you, but
the point I'm making is not my body, not my choice. I don't have that choice. I don't have that right. I can't tell you what you can and can't do with your body. I may not agree with some people's reasons for doing it, but guess what? You want to use abortion as a form of birth control? Maybe that's your way of doing the world a favor by not reproducing. I mean, let's be honest. There's actually, and I'm going to look this up because I overheard it and someone showed me a quick headline. School agrees to implement feline facilities in the elementary school bathroom. Because in the school out in the west... Feline. Like, yes. Because some elementary school in the mid to Midwest has...
Are we mixing furries up with this shit now?
Deadass.
Seriously?
There are 2 students apparently in this mid to Midwest school that identify as cats, and the school had to implement litter boxes into the bathroom for the students. Deadass. They showed me the quick headline. I'm like, I'm going to have to research that later. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true, but do you really want that kid reproducing in 30 years?
Where'd it come from?
It was a quick flash of the phone. Like, no, look, it's legit. I'm like, oh, okay.
I'll look it up later. You know, like NewsGuard.
I'll definitely research it.
See if it's certified or not. But
But yeah, in 30 years, I don't want that future president reproducing.
You see, there's now groups protesting in front of members of the Supreme Court for leaking this, and people that are voting for overturning it.
Mm-hmm.
There's protesters. Someone released names and addresses, pretty much doxed them, and now they're going to their houses and protesting them. The fucked up part is the administration, president, vice president, nobody's addressing anything. No opinion on it. I'm like, wow, how come January 6th was this horrible thing, which that was at the White House. That was government property.
Yeah.
But now these people are going to these government officials' houses in their neighborhoods, protesting, and death threats.
Oh shit, we gotta start over. We're not on air.
And death threats. Oh, that's the show. Death threats and everything else, and nobody's saying anything. Which how do you? I don't know. I don't understand the justification there. I don't get
it. And with the Democratic Party's view on pro-choice, you would think the federal government would want, especially with our current administration, they'd want to protect its assets. It's in its corner assets.
Mm. You see,
fucking stupid.
With the left going crazy, now women are saying, well, we're going to stop dating, stop having sex. They're going on a sex strike because it's too risky to have kids because they don't want or can't afford them. That's their argument. What argument does that sound like? To me, it sounds like every conservative family's argument. Oh, you mean saving yourself until you're ready? Marriage? And now that's what they're using as an argument. That's like,
to teach you a lesson, I'm going to stay a virgin until I get married at 42.
What are you talking about?
I can't live in this country. I need premarital sex.
This house is a fucking prison.
The island of fucking, what's it called?
I don't know.
On the island of this world, this is shit.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Gavin Newsom, who's the California governor,
Yep.
said if men could get pregnant, this wouldn't be a discussion. Here's the kicker, though. Get ready for this. It's not even get ready because it's been around for 2, 3, 4 years now. Men can get pregnant, according to the progressive left. Remember? Men can get pregnant now. So, and it's still an issue. That means that men lose their rights too, being pregnant?
Oh, God, you had to say that. All I could think about was that news story about the man becoming a woman and the woman becoming a man.
Oh, and DC.
And the man becoming the woman trying to breastfeed the child.
Yeah, in DC, that kid is fucked.
That kid is really fucked.
I feel bad for that kid. I can taste the salt.
Chest hair.
Oh, God.
You want to breastfeed off me? Rhetorical. Please don't answer that. You hesitated. I was expecting a joke answer.
No, I'm going to let you stew in that one.
No, I don't want to stew in it.
I'll let you think about that one for a while.
I don't want to.
It's too bad. Vice now is advocating women taking medication that's in horse medication for taking ulcers to induce abortions. Now, what was the hot topic last October and November about horse medication?
I can't even take a drink.
Now
you know what's funny?
Now it's okay?
IV.
Huh.
It's amazing how many of these things revolving around women and horses now. I mean, there's tons of porn like that.
It's true.
Ivermectin, in vitro fertilization. They sound about the same.
Those are hot search topics on Pornhub. I don't even think you can say porn on YouTube. I think you get demonetized. YouTube's really weird about their rules.
Yeah, but we're not making money anyway, so it's okay.
I know, but one day we might.
That's right, folks.
One day we might.
Shout out. This is all, yeah. Just a little side note. I was, when you said over 1,000 plus followers, I'm like,
Yeah, overnight. It was weird.
TikTok, I'm like, oh shit, 1,198, and it may have gone up.
Maybe, I don't know.
Let me check.
It goes in waves. It's weird, but going on. All right, yeah. So Vice advocates for giving horse meds. Go figure. Oh wait. Whoopi Goldberg's speech.
Yeah, what was up with that? My body, my choice.
My body, my choice. And she says nobody has a damn. And this is most women's argument, including the one I live with. She said, "This is, it's my body, and you have no business like saying or doing whatever." Fair enough, fair point. And even going with Goldberg, fair point. But again, we rewind the clock about a year, and the same person, Whoopi Goldberg, whose real name is Karen Johnson, I think. Mm-hmm. She's a Karen. Her words when it came to the vaccination was, I don't give a shit, or it wasn't I don't give a shit, she was on air, but she's like, I don't care about your freedoms, you need to get vaccinated. And then, once again, well, that's funny, you had that argument then, but now you're arguing what we all were saying back then. Well, it's my body, so it's my choice, and you shouldn't have anything to say about it. Listen, if you're going to have a fucking argument, no matter what it is, you draw a card and you play that fucking card. You don't like just search through the deck. It's like this one. No, I put that one back. I need this one now.
She reminds me of, you remember the old chapter books? Like, go to page 8 for this path. No, wait. I didn't let my finger on the page.
Yeah, choose your own adventure.
Yeah, choose your own adventure books. She's like,
that's what she is. She starts reading through the. Oh no, I don't like that one. I better go back to. All right, I'm gonna choose the other page. Fuck off. Fucking Karens. I feel this isn't to all the good Karens out there, are the ones.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
If you're a good Karen.
Even if you Karens that don't like us, you should still like and subscribe because, you need something to argue about because, you Karens are evil.
We had a few Karens. Speaking of Karens, do you like how you like the comment section on that one video?
The Heather? There was one I dropped the Heather.
Thought Police. I didn't see the Heather one.
I don't read a lot of the comments, man.
Thought Police and Bullock or whatever it was.
Sometimes comments poke their head out and I notice them. There was one guy that said something about, the only thing I remember from 84 is Van Halen. The one thing I was like, you, sir, won this comment section. But yeah, so.
The Thought Police guy, he goes, I said, I agree with your I see your logic. It makes sense. Maybe could we discuss this further? Do you happen to own a panel van that I could get into? He said, why would we need to talk about this further if you agree with me? Dunce.
I couldn't figure out whether you were attacking one side or the other. I was like,
oh, I was just having fun. Saying? I was having fun. I troll our own comments.
You trolled me. That's my...
Yes!
I was like, what's he... I don't understand. So, yeah, Roe V Wade.
Yeah.
That all leaks. But I guess what's come out now is members of the Supreme Court are saying they're not changing now it's solidifying because everyone's protesting them and everyone. What are you doing?
It's all limp.
Well, then tighten it.
I did.
Oh, I don't know then.
It's this part right here.
Okay. Well, then tighten that. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's simple. You too.
Every day's the first day.
It's Groundhog Day here. 3, 2, 1, go. Till today, even as a kid, I was like, he gave us the finger. Go Bill Murray.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. Murray 2024.
No, he's going to be like 102.
You still don't think he'd be a better president than the one we have now?
Fair point. And be sarcastic.
Oh, hell yeah.
People wouldn't like him. He'd be another Trump. He probably doesn't even like Trump, but anyway. Yeah, because all these protests with the Supreme Court, remember Supreme Court, that's solidified their vote. Now, kind of the opposite effect of what they're trying to do, like bully people into overturning it, which if they ended up... It's bad for the members of the Supreme Court. They're fucked either way. Because now, if they overturn it, what they're doing is showing a horrible justice system. If they get bullied enough, they'll change their vote. Whether it's good, bad, whatever, it doesn't matter. That sets a precedent for all of these choices in election, or not elections, but rulings in the future. Because now if people say, I don't like what they're voting for, well, let's just go down and protest till we get our way. But if they don't change it, which is looks like what they're doing now, they're pretty much putting their foot down and be like, we're not going to be bullied into changing our decision. So now they're doubling down. And if that's the case, this is definitely overturning next month. Now you're setting up for another 2020 George Floyd riot. Nothing to do with race. This time has everything to do with women's rights.
Do you really think it'll come to that, though?
I fucking do. Let's look at. It's been reasonably quiet since, in comparison anyway, since the riots. What's happened over the last half a year, really, but maybe a year, and well, if you want to go back, the last couple of years, is the Biden administration, with all the crazy stuff that the left, the extreme left, and all this woke movement, progressive movement has done, like I've said, is bring classic libertarians, centrists, Republicans, conservatives, all these independents, whatever, centrist, same thing, I guess. All these groups coming together, putting aside their differences and being like, this extreme left bullshit has got to go. Well, that's not good for Democrats and the left, because that's a lot of different groups that'll be like, no. So if they overturn that, does that mean we're going to have more riots? I think so, because one, it's the left, and two, summertime's coming up. Warm weather. No one riots in the winter. I'm serious. How many riots did you see going on?
Fuck this shit. Fuck, that's cold.
It's kind of cold outside. How many riots did you see go on any winter?
Well, I mean, they had, but...
And the George Floyd riots was from, what, May to August?
I mean, they had the convoy up north.
But they were in trucks.
Not the people on the side of the roads cheering them on, bringing them supplies.
But, all right, fair enough, but there were no riots.
No.
There was no one running around.
That was protesting done properly.
Yeah, that was perfect protesting.
Regardless of the outcome, they did
regardless
it the right way.
of the movement, regardless of whether you agreed or disagreed, that was a protest.
You
how it
found
was
a
supposed to be
legal
done.
way to make a noise.
Yeah, you were annoying, and you this is what we're trying for. This is why we're doing this. Nobody was hurt, to my knowledge. Nobody was hurt. I don't know. I'm sure there was probably people arrested. I know there was people that were trying to cause a ruckus, and a lot of the truckers and even people that are supporting them were like, they're not with us.
Yeah.
Fuck off. But that was the way of protest is supposed to be done.
Yeah.
There was no See, the thing Antifa and shit they were doing, BLM, they were doing a mob kind of bullshit. They were getting the defunding police or doing so much damage where the police were ordered to stand down. All the Antifa members, they were all going into these places, basically becoming a mob. Listen, you pay us, going into these businesses, you pay us and we'll protect you. Threatening, like that's the fucking mafia. That's the 20s and 30s right there. That's what they were doing, which is a little illegal, last I knew. But they got away with it.
If you get caught.
Yeah.
They didn't get caught.
Mostly peaceful protests. Do I think that will happen again? I don't know about on that scale. Like where they take over a section of a city, a major city, and it's national news for how many weeks?
It was up there for a while.
But do I think it would cause riots next month? It's yet to be seen. But I'm willing to bet cash on it. Yeah, you'll see riots. Why? Because they need something to write about. Going further than that, though. This is what I told her when we kind of got... Because I asked her, what's your opinion on this? Being a woman. And she usually stays out of like political discussions and everything. I usually don't bring that home.
Yeah.
But just out of curiosity. So we got talking about that. And then she went off on like the whole, my body, my choice. I'm like, fair enough. I go, everyone put your tinfoil hats on. This is why just something I was watching or looking at this whole thing play out. And I'm like, it's been pretty quiet. This is what I was talking about before, bringing up again where all these sides are brought together against the progressive left. It's been relatively quiet. And all these sides are kind of talking together now and being like, this administration sucks, let's do something about it. Well, because they're all together and the whole race thing's kind of quieted down again, and the vaccine thing is pretty much nullified and gone, especially now with this shit coming out, which we'll get to in a little bit. So how do we divide them up? There's male and female in every fucking group. Let's split that right down the middle. Or in this case, just fractioned all through these groups. Brilliant.
Excuse me.
So now that's going to break up this little monotonous group thing that's going together with all these other sides. And which brings me to the point of, was this leaked by someone on the left in the Supreme Court? Was someone on the left, did they leak that? Look what they're going to do. And now, because it was like a month and a half or so before the actual ruling, now you guys have 5, 6, 7, however many weeks to fester on it, on the possibility, which all that angst and all that bullshit to fester up and then cover it constantly in the news. Look what they're going to do. Look what they're going to do. They're going to take your rights away. Look what they're going to do. Oh, man, you're not going to be able to get an abortion. They're telling you what to do. All women, they're taking your rights away. They're not going to be able to do anything.
It does seem like a left tact.
It just seems like... And then going further...
I'll put my tinfoil hat on for that one.
Going further than that, though, that is not left or right. Suppose it was someone from the right. We'll go deep state. These people are getting too close. They're starting to kind of come together. We don't need that. We need to break this whole thing up so everyone's warring amongst each other again. So, Roe V Wade, what's that doing? That technically shouldn't even be in there. Just get rid of that. That'll break them all up. Then you'll have just warring in houses, let alone communities or political factions or whatever. Again, that's
but what would that really be the ploy? Because all right, let's go ahead and chase this rabbit down the hole a little bit. If it's a left tact to break up all of the other parties that may become enough of the majority to remove the current administration come next election, if it was a right tact, I'm confused myself thinking about this. Holy shit. So would the right really be trying to break them up, or would the right, if this was a tax done by the right, do you think that would be the right's attempt at making it seem like it's the left's idea, trying to break these people up so that they just unify even more? What would be the possible gain from the right for this?
Well, that's what I mean. It doesn't necessarily have to be right or left. It would just be deep state, something above that or below that or whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Oh,
something
okay.
beyond that, where it'd be like, listen, they're. What's the saying? An educated society is a dangerous society, or a powerful society, or whatever it is. Well,
along those lines,
for most dictatorships and everything, they want, again, 1984, common speak, dumb down the language. You don't want educated people. You don't want educated citizens. You don't want an educated population, because then they're in the know. And when they're in the know, they have a say and an opinion, and a strong opinion. Because someone who doesn't know what's going on has no opinion on it. How many people do you see that don't watch the news, don't pay attention to what's going on, and they just hear through the grapevine of, oh, they're going to do this? It's like, whatever, they can do whatever they want. It's like, I don't really have an opinion on it. Which, fine, that's fine. But in my opinion, you can't bitch and complain about shit when stuff changes or doesn't change either.
If you're not willing to...
Yeah, if you don't know what's going on, and then you open your mouth later and complain about it, it's like, listen, you vote, you know? If you don't, you know, at least do something.
Yeah. Fucking sheeple. Oh, fuck.
Going further with tinfoil hats, it just doesn't end. The same time, or the same week that the Roe v. Wade thing dropped, the Pfizer documents dropped.
Yeah.
So some people are saying maybe they leaked the Roe v. Wade. Like, get rid of everything we just talked about. Forget that.
To distract from the Pfizer news.
Suppose maybe the Roe v. Wade thing was leaked, and they were actually looking at it just strict for the constitutional thing, like I was saying right at the beginning. It's like, well, that really shouldn't be in there, so let's fix that. and then they leak it at the same time as Big Pharma or Pfizer's document drop, just to kind of push that into the background. Because
because with the vaccines, the mandates, the virus itself, there's really not much going on. So people are kind of like, oh, well, it's kind of fizzing out. I just won't pay as much attention to it anymore. Oh, by the way, these documents say it's bad. Roe v Wade.
Yeah, it was basically that. It's like, as someone was talking about the Pfizer documents being released, there was someone just steps in front of them with a huge sign, be like, Roe v. Wade's going. It's like, what? It's what?
Shiny.
Yeah.
God damn it, society.
So during the same time, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was restricted to those over the age of 18 that can't take the mRNA vaccine because specifically because of the risk of blood clots. Which I know a lot of people were talking about blood clots when that was coming out.
I do remember.
And that was a conspiracy theory thing. Or it's like, well, they're so rare, it's like shouldn't even be considered an actual threat.
Yeah.
But now they're restricting it to kids or from kids.
Kids, yeah.
Yeah, you can't. I guess what it said in the FDA's website is it had to be diluted. I think Johnson & Johnson was the most potent. Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer? I think, no, Pfizer was the most potent. No. Fuck. I can't remember. Moderna's was more potent. Johnson & Johnson or whatever.
Johnson & Johnson.
That was a different kind of vaccine.
That is kind of funny.
According to Pfizer, the vaccine has no difference in outcome over natural immunity. That was another talking point. It was like, well, all over CNN and MSNBC and ABC.
Oh, yeah.
Rachel Maddow, especially. Well, the vaccine's better. Natural immunity wears off after, what'd they say? It was 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it was, or 2 weeks, or whatever the hell the number was. They said it's not as good as the vaccine.
Yeah.
Well, now, according to Pfizer's documentation, there's no difference in natural immunity. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I should be good then. I've had it twice. I'm just golden.
Well, if anything, you're actually supporting that 4 to 6 week thing.
Going with the younger generation or the younger ages taking it, according to Pfizer, the adverse reactions were more frequent and more severe in younger groups. Younger than 55.
Yeah.
So not even like just
the
really
majority young. Of the populace.
Their survivability rate, according to their documents, 16 years old and younger was 99.993%, 30 years old, 99.943%, and 50 years old was 99.572%. And it doesn't drop below 99% until 60 years or older.
Now that's people who can survive COVID? Or people who could survive getting the vaccination?
COVID,
okay.
Yeah, that was people that survived COVID.
Okay.
So, those are some of the numbers I pulled from it. Actually, I think I have a couple screenshots from... No, not that one.
That's your penis.
Yeah. Wait, no.
The worst part is, folks, though, you wouldn't even see it. It really wasn't a picture of his penis, but he did bring up a screen of something, go, oh, wait, no, and then back to the other screen.
Yeah.
At least I don't think it was his penis.
Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't.
Big Brother already went into your phone and deleted them. Oh,
there we
got
go.
The proof.
There we go. Oh. Breastfeeding. It is unknown whether COVID-19 mRNA vaccine is excreted in human milk. A risk to the newborn or infants cannot be excluded. The mRNA vaccine should not be used during breastfeeding. There's 8. During pregnancy, there's no or limited amount of data to use on the vaccine. Animal reproductive toxicity studies have not been completed. It is not recommended during pregnancy. Oh my goodness. 270 mother cases and 4 fetus and baby cases representing 270 unique pregnancies. Link to 3 mother. I'm not going to go through all this because there's a lot of technical jargon in here. There was an article I read. They were talking about the adverse effects in the vaccine. This is from, I think, the New York Post, if I remember correctly. Maybe the Verge or New York Post. They were talking about adverse effects of the vaccine. And they said there were billions, and this is why you should not trust any mainstream media when they post anything like a hit piece on whatever. Mm-hmm. Specifically when it comes to vaccines, stuff like that. The article, it says, through the billions of doses of the vaccine worldwide, there was like 42,000 and change adverse effects. The very next paragraph, they said in worldwide, in regards to the adverse effects, the 158,000 and change adverse effects, the very next paragraph, they changed their number of adverse effects. And I thought maybe I read it wrong. It's like maybe they're talking about the United States, but they said worldwide 42,000. The very next paragraph, worldwide adverse effects 152 or 58,000.
Okay. So they contradicted themselves.
In the same, not even article, it's like a paragraph away from each other. You could scan between the two just looking at the two numbers, and it's like a Starbucks across from a Starbucks. Just make your head spin. Like, wait, what? Why? Oh,
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Excuse me.
No, it doesn't make sense, and that's the problem.
It makes no sense, which makes total sense. 60% of the time, it makes sense all the time.
I'm just happy. It's what turns out it's going to be the first of every month. They're going to release more.
Yeah.
But there's a total of 400,000 documents or pages and documents that they have to go through. That's fucking disgusting.
Well, I'll look at it this way.
Who the fuck's going to read all that?
I said, thank God there's about 1 million people in this country willing to read it all. I mean, if they think about it, 400,000 people read 1 page each.
And you know what's fucked up? If it comes out in some of these documents that there's some serious long-term effect, I mean, it's not going to be in the documents because long-term is we're not going to find out. I would imagine they're completely protected. Pfizer is anyway, because the government gave them the okay.
Oh, yeah.
And like I've said before, nobody was forced. Not a single person was forced. They threaten things around you. Well, if you don't take it, you just don't work here.
Yeah.
But nobody said you have to get it. No matter what you do, you have to get it. So everyone was or anyone who took it voluntarily took it. It's fucked up. You pretty much voluntold.
Too misleading, though.
Pretty much voluntold.
Yeah.
And like, you said before, it's safe and effective. What about kids? That's fine. And well, apparently not.
But that one's dying.
We don't talk about that one.
Just throw some dirt on it. It'll be fine.
Just rub some dirt in it. Yeah, so there's
I don't know, man.
nothing that's going to be said. And nothing they're going to be able to do.
No one will get, no one will get held accountable.
Staying with the Pfizer thing, or the vaccine thing, through the pandemic, the CDC bought information from cell phone companies, tracking people to see if they were adhering to...
I might have heard something about this, yeah.
Adhering to a lockdown protocol, or just seeing if they were being cautious.
Yeah. I may have heard something about that because someone was saying it was like an attack. It was like if Big Brother was its own entity, this would be the friend eavesdropping outside.
Yeah.
Sort of, they referenced it.
Right.
Because they weren't really doing anything to these people in particular. But, like... So, like, if a group in Bumsville, Idaho, had some big gathering, like Fonda Speedway we'll use. You know, Fonda Speedway, you know, a lot of people are in there talking, hey, nice to be here without a mask, folks, social media, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like, oh, well, look, there's more, you know, they got people in these fucking no-net towns not following the mandates and all that. Well, maybe we could put the squeeze on them.
Maybe. I think it's more revealing that even if you use the argument, well, it was a pandemic, so we wanted to know, that an outside company, an entity, Big Pharma, whoever it was, can just come into a phone company and they give me your information. Or give me their information, rather. Okay. Like, that's kind of telling. I'm like, wow, that's a problem.
Not the first time, though. Whether it's Big Pharma, Big Oil, Big Government, there's always ways that people seem to be able to step in and get information. Fuck you, Pfizer.
You see, this I just put in here because it's starting to really become a hot topic.
What's that?
The 2,000 Mules. It's a documentary. It's a documentary. Let's see if I can remember.
Oh, I say this is news to me. I'm drawing a complete blank on it.
It was talking about some 2,000 whatever mules. They call them mules that were trafficking fake ballots during the 2020 election. And now they're talking about, I think it was in 6 different states. I'll just read. This is from Election Fraud at Glance. This is a documentary covering True the Vote's video evidence of a coordinated, funded, illegal ballot trafficking network across critical swing states. 2,000 Mules documents research from True the Vote, a conservative election intelligence organization that has compiled evidence of organized ballot trafficking in at least 6 states: Georgia, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Texas. In Georgia, for example, True the Vote alleges there were 242 traffickers who made 5,662 trips to ballot drops boxes between the early morning hours of 12 a.m. and 5 a.m., potentially unloading hundreds of thousands of illegally harvested ballots over the course of several weeks. What some of the numbers that they're allegedly showing is a lot of these towns for voter turnout, it was like 104%. 101%, 112% voter turnout. Well, how do you get more people than there?
Yeah.
Again,
Dude.
This is alleged. I don't know. I haven't looked too far into this because this kind of just this has come in my crosshairs in the last few days. But it's kind of got me like, well, is this going to be kind of a propaganda documentary? Kind of like Michael Moore's documentaries.
Fahrenheit.
Some of his were like, this is definitely from a lefty take. But there was a lot to take out of it, too. A lot of information in it. I'm like, is it want to be a documentary where you kind of got to weed through the bullshit and get, whatever they're saying? But I am kind of curious to see.
Now, how crazy would it fucking be if proof came out that kind of shit happened and they actually are able to disprove, prove that Biden didn't win the election? That'd be fucking funny.
81 million votes, I don't know. And what was said, too, is, well, there's been said a whole bunch, but that both Trump and Biden got more votes than previously the most voted on president, who was Obama, which I think he had, before that, the record of like 69 million, and they both just blew that out of the water. Like, that's impressive. I think they should just go further into it, because, like I said before, there's election fraud every election cycle.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But would it be something if, there was so much fraud?
Now, let me ask you this. Let's say, what would happen then? Let's say this was 100% accurate.
I don't think there would be... You think there would be enough fake ballots to cover 6 million votes.
I mean, dude, if you remember watching the numbers, a lot of the stuff they were showing, like
Thomas Jefferson voted?
black sheep. Shut your mouth, wench. That was my dad, great-great-granddad. He died in some Civil War. We're proud to have him vote for us. He's dead. Oh, shit. No, but so what would happen in that instance? Let's say it comes to find out it was illegal. It wasn't legally done. Would Trump step back in?
No. I think it's too late. You'd have to go through this whole process of impeaching him and then a process of having someone take his... Because you'd Kamala Harris, maybe, or the Speaker, or what was it, the Supreme Court Justice, I think, after that. There's a lot of people, chain of command, that would take over the presidency if something like that came out. You'd have to get rid of the entire administration, which maybe, but...
Trump comes back in for 2 years, and then because technically he didn't he didn't do this whole election, he gets another election after
the whole move.
10 years.
There was something that was going around a while ago that said, what if Trump ran for the Supreme Court? I think it was Supreme Court Justice, and then as that position, he had the power to impeach the president and vice president, and then what would happen is you get rid of that administration, and then he would become acting president for the last 2 years. I'm like, wow, that would be quite the game of chess. What a stretch, but I guess...
Check me, bitches.
I guess,
10 more years.
I don't, like I said, I gotta...
That's one of those.
And I think we're too far into the president. There's 2 years left of his first term. Not assuming...
Hopefully his only term.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Sorry.
So,
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, guys.
Speaking of Biden, his statement on the MAGA crowd being the most extreme political group that's ever existed in American history.
Wow. Oh, as a MAGA crowd, I bet you they drink tons of mega pints.
Not mega, MAGA. Jeez. Not Johnny Depp crowd. They're probably the most extreme group.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh my God, they're protesting. We have 100,000 Johnny Depps out.
Ho.
I gotta do it.
I sent you that, right? Yeah. And guess I'll decide it. I don't know, cocaine maybe. He has a jar of cocaine. Yeah, so make America great again.
Yeah.
That's an extreme, according to Biden, that's the most extreme political group ever in American history. Now, I'll let you dwell on that one for 3 seconds. One. Can you name me some extreme political groups?
Proud Boys?
Here, I'll give you an easy one.
Black Lives Matter, Antifa.
There you go.
I mean,
the KKK.
Yeah, you know.
How about M19 back in what, 1982
Yep.
or whatever it was?
80s into the 90s.
That was a small. No, that was 70s and 80s. That was a small.
M19?
Yeah.
That was the Latin American.
No. I'm
thinking MS-13 or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, my bad.
No, M19 was a communist group that was would they bomb? It wasn't the White House? Was it Congress? I can't remember. You have to fact check. I can't remember what they bombed.
I got it.
All right. That was a small communist group, a bunch of extremists. Back in, I think it was 78 or 82, somewhere around there. Yeah, but the KKK and most recently, what you already said, Black Lives Matter and Antifa, which was just a couple summers ago.
U.S. Capitol.
Yeah.
In the 1980s, a far-left female-led domestic terrorism group.
Yeah. They fucking bombed the Capitol.
The U.S. Capitol. Heaven forbid we march on the Capitol.
Yeah, and then most of them get exonerated anyway. But yeah, so MAGA, never mind all that. That doesn't count. That's not what we're talking about here. But MAGA is the most extreme political group.
Yeah.
Make America Great Again is their name. They wear red hats. Let them have the red hats.
They wear red hats and they kiss their cousins. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, let them have their hats and cousin kissing whatever.
Do you have a cousin you'd kiss?
Did I send you that?
Not related. Before anybody gets any bad ideas.
Did I send you that video of Nina Jankowicz? I think her name, singing that disinformation song.
Oh yes, yeah. I loved it. I was like, I like this
It's the
song.
fucking Mary Poppins thing. You know what's fucked up about that?
What's that?
It's like a year or two ago, she was talking about when Trump was in office. She was saying when Trump was all like this fake media, and always calling the media fake news and fake media. She was very much like, I don't think that there should be anyone controlling what the media says or can't say. And now she's the fucking leader of the Disinformation Governance Board, the Ministry of Truth, whatever the fuck you want to call it. She's the one running the show. She's the one that's put out tweets and shit that have been blatantly disinformation. Fucking and doesn't retract or redact her statements after the fact. She says nothing about it. She just goes along with it. And then she starts fucking singing like Mary Poppins. And which I'll say this as a musician, amateur musician, she's spot on. Great enunciation. But that's besides the point. What the fuck?
Great articulation, you lying bitch.
That's pretty much what I just said.
God, your articulated speech is sexy. Stop being a misinformed whore.
But yeah, they made her, and then when they asked the people who put her in charge, when they were asked, did you know about her past? Did you know about her tweets? Oh, we weren't informed. Bullshit. Come on. You give someone a job in that kind of high position, and a brand new position. Oh, we don't know your qualifications. And they said, here's the thing too. They said when it comes to disinformation, they feel that she's the most qualified. Two things. No. And B, how are you fucking qualified in disinformation? Unless you're just good at spreading it.
I would say, who's more qualified? The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Who better to lead a faction or a branch or a division or an organization, whatever you want to call it, who is to root out disinformation than the person starting the disinformation. She will always be right when she finds something that's disinformed that she may have started, or she may have down the pipeline got somebody to plant that seed. Well, that's disinformation.
It's perfect for the administration, and because if they say something, let's say, I don't know, what was a hot topic that's now not? Anything that's my body, my choice. We'll just take that for an example, because we were talking about earlier.
Gender dysphoria. We'll use that.
All right.
They were all, you have the right.
All right.
Or it's legit. It's not yeah.
So they'll make a statement 6 months ago, and now they have the Disinformation Bureau. So now they can go back and it's like, well, that's not what we meant. So it's ill-informed, or it's fake news, or disinformation, for lack of a better term. Now they can basically cover their tracks. Now they can go back and rewrite what they said before. Boy, what's that fucking sound like? Sounds like a book. Some book we were talking about before. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So now,
weren't we born in the year 1984?
Yes. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
So I was. So were you. Yeah.
We were.
So
I wonder what the year 1984 is so special about.
I don't know. So now they have a fucking an organization.
Hey, look, there's a book.
Yeah. They have an organization that can write exactly what they want. Yeah. But if you say it's the Ministry of Truth or compared to it, then you're a conspiracy theorist. Boy, that fucking looks like it, though. And the fact that they put someone who's really good at it in that position, it's like, wow.
Well, Spitzer. Remember Spitzer?
What about him?
He was the one who led the fucking crackdown on the prostitution, the sex trafficking.
Oh, yeah. And he's sending...
Who better to hunt down the criminals than the one who was ordering the most pussy?
That was Wiener.
No, Spitzer.
No, yeah, I know. I was going to say he ripped off a bunch of millionaires and politicians, but that was Anthony Weiner or whatever his name is.
Spitzer was the one in New York who led the big thing about sex trafficking, prostitution, sex work. And that dude had a fucking list on speed dial a mile long.
Speaking of like just
This one knows how to gargle. This one knows how to cup the balls. This one's got a long tongue for your butthole.
This one actually has a penis. So, speaking of
That
just
video, worst turn on about a woman.
Speaking of just bullshit like politicians and this hypocrisy, there was a picture going around of Quentin Tarantino holding a foot, like kissing it, and someone actually broke down the picture. They're looking at the length of the foot. They were looking at Tarantino holding an Oscar, and they measured the length of the Oscar, and they measured the length of like his face, and then in this other picture of this foot, they measured the length of the foot. And they said that leg's only like 10 inches long. And they said, well, it's just a little person, or a dwarf maybe, or something like that, or a really short girl or something. But they were measuring, it's like, that doesn't look like a short person. It looks like a kid. This is going back with the whole child trafficking thing in Hollywood and in politics. Bohemian Grove. And the thing we talked about before with the whole Alex Jones episode, was he right or wrong? And we were talking about the sex trafficking in Hollywood. And those emails that were released.
Oh, yeah.
That was on public record now, too. That's like about talking about, what they call them, walnuts or something like that. They were talking about dark-skinned kids.
Oh,
and the kids gonna. Well, they had some of those emails.
They had codes.
Yeah, they had some of the emails were directly talking about kids like being party favors or something, being in a hot tub or something like that. Well, going forward to now, there was that picture that came out with Tarantino like licking or kissing this short person's leg.
A little person.
Yeah, I don't even know, but some people are like, that looks more like a kid. If I can find it, I'll show you after the show. But I looked at it, I'm like, why not? Everything else going on. I mean,
adrenochrome.
Yeah, it's like, do they have it in their sweat glands?
Oh, it's in the toe jam.
Sir, I don't even know you.
You okay?
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop.
You see?
Stop looking at my foot. Hey, Quentin, you okay?
So weird. You know what's fucked up? People in Hollywood are so fucked up. Clearly. I mean, look at Johnny Depp. You like him or hate him. I mean, people in Hollywood are fucked up. Especially people who came up at a young age and just lived in Hollywood.
I mean, he's dating a girl.
They have no structure around themselves. At least not a stable
I don't understand what he's bitching about. He's dating a famous scat artist.
And not that kind.
Did you see? I'll find it. Somebody actually took shit and made a Captain Jack Sparrow mural on a white bed.
Really?
They smeared shit. There's turds and everything.
I think I did see that.
It's legit.
I thought it was chocolate, though.
There's a I haven't seen a...
Why not?
I have a chocolate one, but I have seen the one where there's the person verifying that. That's human shit.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I just assumed maybe trying to see the better part of humanity. But, whatever.
If that's the better part of humanity, this fucking species
I was hoping it was
screwed.
melted Hershey bars. Not that I was looking at another. God, I've seen
Baby Ruth.
so much shit in bed this week. It's just all over. It's all over social media. Can't we have a different trend?
That's why we started with Amber Heard, Johnny Depp talk.
We started with ice bucket challenges, and then we've gone to shitting in beds. Where are we going?
The Heard turd.
Seriously, that's going to be the next one.
The Heard turd.
Do the Heard turd, and then they're going to film it. Watch me pinch it off. Make sure you get the whole thing.
Oh shit, they're coming in. No, you'll see it on South Park. Cartman.
Yeah.
He's mouth pooping on someone's bed.
My next point goes perfectly with this whole conversation. The World Health Organization is predicting the next pandemic is going to be a mental illness pandemic. And here we are. It's probably people that live up in a mountain somewhere that's completely cut off from all this bullshit. I only envision they maybe once a month or once every 2 or 3 months, they load up a U-Haul truck and they come down into the valley to get supplies, wood, tools, food, water. And they come in and they're at a grocery store and they're standing in line watching the news cycle go past the TV. And then when they leave, they're like, wow, we're fucked. So they unload their truck and go back for a second load, so they don't have to come back so soon.
I just need these 80 cans of tomatoes and fruits and vegetables. Today on CNN,
Keep the
Amber
change.
Heard shits on Johnny Depp's bed. Can I get some more?
Make that 160 cans.
Can I just double this, please?
Yeah. A mental health pandemic.
I wouldn't be surprised. Dude,
Listen,
with everything going on, autism being a thing that more and more children are being diagnosed with, gender identity, gender dysphoria being a thing.
you name it, whatever we've covered and then some.
Yeah.
And we've covered the trans athletes, trans parents, people not wanting to be a gender at all. The one, like said before, that didn't want to choose a gender. I want my baby to choose its gender. Like, what? And you name it.
How do you teach that kid to pee?
A new way.
Did I send you the photo?
Do a plank.
Did I send you that video on TikTok? Do guys, when they go pee, hold it like a cigarette?
Oh, yeah.
Neither.
Yeah.
The guy's just... That dude was doing some good planking. You realize his arms and legs were all up. I'm like,
yoga.
Holy fuck, bro. Good on you.
Yeah. I know yoga.
Oh, porcelain yoga. There you go. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, though, if that does become a thing. A mental illness pandemic.
Well, going with the mental illness thing, there was also something I read. This is a couple weeks ago. Well, maybe longer than that now, because it's one of those points I had in my notes, but I just kept putting out, because every week I'd write notes, and then more crazy shit would happen, so I'd push other things off more and more.
Yeah.
But there was one where there's a study done on people on TikTok developing a Tourette's-like syndrome. Not true Tourette's. Almost like they're convincing themselves they have Tourette's. And for a while, I saw that was like a thing that was trending.
There was a lot of people with...
Tons of people with tics and everything else. And not the bug tics. I mean, Tourette's tics.
Fuck you.
It's your phobia.
Fuck you. No offense to you or to you folks at home. I don't like ticks. I'm talking about the little fucking blood-sucking insects.
Do you want Corona with that lime?
Fuck you. I've already had them both. I already have one for life anyway. God damn it.
There was it. Oh, I heard you can cure that, can't you? Lyme disease?
I haven't...
I just heard something, maybe in the last couple of weeks, something about that. And I actually forgot to bring it up.
There is methods of treatment that they've been working on and developing over the years, like blood transfusions, et cetera, et cetera. But from what I know, there's really no cure for it, and it's all about
unless you catch it early, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Little lesson for the folks at home. If you get bit by a tick and you bring it to the doctor, 9 times out of 10, the doctor's going to look at you and say, it's not a Lyme tick. You're fine.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was like a common thing. Like,
yes.
Oh, you should be fine.
And a lot of misdiagnoses were coming from it. Well, there's 2 tests you take, the Western blot and the Lyme's test. Anybody who gets bit by a tick and gets it off within the first few days, they could test positive on the Lyme's test.
Right.
That they give you like a 3-day dose or 1 mega dose, in a mega pint.
I was just going to say, he stole it right out of my
You take
mouth.
a mega dose of doxycycline with a big swig from your mega pint, or the 3-day dose. And that usually gets rid of it. You never come back with symptoms. Usually. Now, the Western blot test, that test is when it's settled in your blood. That means you have it for life.
Right.
Now, there's a big misconception about Lyme disease. People think, oh, you got Lyme disease, you're going to be going through problems the rest of your life. Some people, yes, are more susceptible to chronic Lyme disease.
Yeah, that was the thing too, where it's not a, I don't want to say death sentence. It's not like a debilitating sentence.
It is.
Depending on who it is, not to everybody.
It's case to case specific.
Right. Like some people get it and be almost nothing.
Some people will get it, have the infection once in their life, and never get it again. Right. Never get it again. I've had Lyme disease since 2013.
8, 9, 10. Oh, was it that late?
2012, 2013 is when I was first diagnosed.
Right.
Yeah, because Big Man was only 4. Right. So 2012 going on 2013. The first 3 years, the infection came back 5 times. Over the last 4 or 5 years, it's come back 2 or 3 times.
Right. You just lock up?
I don't lock up. I do. I could. And it's gotten bad to the point where that's actually how I first discovered it. I was working, and my hands were like, they were hurting. My fingers were swollen. Like, dude, it's straight up. I had to take my wedding ring off. Like, I had an indent, a solid quarter inch indent into my finger from my wedding ring. I had sausage links for fingers. Mm-hmm. And the only reason I even said, all right, I will get this looked at was because I went to pick up a box, and that happened. Like, what the fuck? I went to pick up the box again, and I couldn't close my hands. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I literally did this. I gotta go. Called up, got the proper people, got the proper assistants to get myself to the doctors, got tested. Oh, you got Lyme disease. And then I went on the 21-day treatment of doxycycline. And that's what I have to go through every time it comes back. Now, I have learned in doing research and going through it now almost 10 times, I've learned to pick up on the symptoms. Joint pains, stiffness in certain areas. It settled in my hands first. Now it's the last couple times it's been in my shoulders and neck, mm-hmm. to the point where it's like I could barely turn my head. As soon as I get on that doxycycline, usually about halfway through the second week, the symptoms are going away. By the end of the 21-day cycle, I'm free and clear. But, oh, God, does doxycycline suck. Now, the reason I bring that up is because I'm very fortunate I don't have any resonating effects. I don't have rheumatoid arthritis, which is a very common symptom that comes, disorder or disability that you develop from it. There's a lot of cases where it almost mimics MS.
Right.
All that stuff, I've been very fortunate, very, very fortunate, that as many times as the infection has come back, it's never affected me that bad.
Right.
There are people, though, that one infection, they're done. They're crippled. I mean, there may come in my 50s or 60s where let's say it comes back, where it does debilitate me. That's kind of a luck of the draw I'm going to have to take.
Right.
A spin of the cylinder, that one bullet, eventually it's going to shoot and fire. But right now, very lucky, very fortunate. So.
Yeah, so we're not talking about that tick.
Yeah, we're not talking about that tick. We're talking about that one.
Whistles and...
No, the one that I actually watched for a little while, but I haven't seen any of her videos, and I think she's actually been deactivated.
Either that or just Amber Heard and everything else just kind of...
No. This is before.
Not joking. It's just there's so many.
No, this is before the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial.
I'll tell you, I don't understand TikTok's algorithm, but
because mine's fucked up. I get everything and anything. I get political. I get stripper midgets. I get rednecks literally making jokes about banging their own cousins. I get fucking Chinese kung fu.
These are all things that you search, though.
Not really.
Not so much the kung fu, but maybe everything. Doesn't matter.
No, like I see MILF talk. I see the Dick Doc on TikTok. I see Asian pimple popping people.
That's been on mine. Every so often, there's like you go through, and it's like someone popping pimples. Like, why the fuck do I want to see this?
I saw a time lapse TikTok.
And apparently, that's like a soothing thing for people. All power to you, but definitely not me.
I saw this one TikTok of a time lapse of a guy developing an immunity to spider venom.
Whatever.
It was literally like
Does he handle them normally?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
yeah.
All right. So there's some kind of validity, or.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, where the fuck is my algorithm?
Yeah.
I would love to see the code for my algorithm.
I would love
JQ Tikigodstudios.
I think
political, wrestling,
not even wrestling in mine.
Mine, video games, sci-fi, kung fu, Godzilla.
I get
midget porn.
I get
wrestling, Ninja Turtles, Voltron.
Voltron.
Even TikTok's like, fucking stop.
I don't understand. They just start throwing random stuff at you. It's like
but my
saloons,
salons. One that I actually, because I felt bad for her in some videos, but she took a light view on it. Cooking with tics or cooking with Tourette's. And the girl always, like 90% of the recipes involved her cooking eggs. She's like, crack the, she'd smash eggs, throw eggs, hit people with eggs. The one time she started throwing up. Sorry, I spit on the mic.
Yeah, for a while there was a whole bunch of people with Tourette's on my feed. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why are they coming up on my feed? Why do I have Tourette's people suddenly all over?
Because is it really Tourette's, or were you watching Antifa and were you watching Antifa speeches? This is bullshit. Antifa.
Maybe my phone was watching me.
Do you have Tourette's?
Listening to me.
No,
Is this fucking crazy? Tourette's guy. That was an act.
Yeah. Bob Saget. Yeah. That guy.
Yeah, that was all an act.
Oh, he was good though. Entertaining to watch at the time.
Yeah, it was definitely funny.
Now politically incorrect.
Yeah, so so that's what the World Health Organization is predicting, the next pandemic. Bill Gates always talks about the next pandemic being inevitable, and
well, yeah, I mean,
there was also something with the World Health Organization, Klaus Schwab.
Mm-hmm.
I vaguely saw it, and I didn't look into it because I didn't have time to look into it for this one, but something about the World Health Organization voting to, I don't want to say disband the UN, or pretty much just limit or just completely strip power from the United States and the UN, making the World Health Organization like the ruling thing. Now, I don't know, like I said, I don't know enough about it to say yay or nay or have a solid opinion, but just based on that alone, it's like, doesn't that sound like a one world government if they do that?
My eyebrows only raised in interest because I'd love to see both sides of that.
I'd like to see any side because, like I said, I don't know much about it. I vaguely saw something along those lines. I think actually someone on TikTok sent it to me. So one of the people that subscribed, they sent it to me. I'm like, now I'm getting like tagged and stuff by different followers, and like I'm watching, I'm like, some conspiracy stuff. I'm like, listen, I like conspiracies. Just to, what the hell? I like conspiracies as much as the next person, but
I gotta finish that. Sorry. Eventually,
I like conspiracies just as much as the next person. But
they're fun.
I don't want to be considered like a David Icke kind of figurehead. Like, lizard people are fucking running the country, and that kind of crazy shit. I like reading it and be like, all right, well, let's put this on the back burner. Let's keep an eye on it, and let's watch the next 4, 5, 6 months, 1 year, whatever, play out. And then let's go back to it and be like, and then do our semi-exaggerated, or not even exaggerated, most of the time, just kind of
ragging.
and just stare at the camera. Stare at everyone at home, make eye contact, and be like, this is you explain to me. Without saying I told you so.
I was going to say,
yeah.
There was usually a saying, the words I, told, and you, and so are in that comment, but.
I like being sarcastic. Man, if there's only a way, we could have known. Yeah, but I get tagged in some conspiracy stuff now, so. I like listening to it, but that was one of the things, I think that was one of them, was that whole World Health Organization basically taking over the UN. I'm like, well, that seems kind of Orwellian, but then again, so does the Ministry of Truth, and this whole disinformation bureau. So you can't even really shrug it off as nothing. So like, fuck, now I have to look into it. Like, now I have to see. And you know what's really...
God, it was so fun to mock, but now they're getting serious. I have to learn.
You know what it sucks is... Well, no, I'm not going to change what we're doing. Like,
no.
That's what's gotten us to this far.
I know.
What sucks is if I look into it and then something happens to be legit, even a part of it, I'm like, fuck.
You know what's funny? You say you're more. We have two completely different reactions, and the sad part is, good or bad, I think my reaction is the same. Your reaction right there, oh fuck. My reaction, oh shit, no, we're fucked. Well, or ooh, this is good.
Now, well,
I'm always excited, whether it's good or bad. I'm always excited when this shit happens, and it's like,
if it comes out, it's just because like there's one thing that actually frightens me is that amount of government control. It
should frighten anybody.
I know a lot of people are like, well, it couldn't happen. There's no way it could happen. I'm like, yeah, but there's so many aspects of things that have already happened or are happening right now that when you look at these old novels and movies and whatever, it's like, man, the seeds are being planted for this stuff. It's almost like all this literature and media was created as a warning. Because I think a lot of it was created as a warning.
The government sees some of these old films and goes,
that's a good fucking idea.
Hold my beer.
Sometimes I wonder, I'm like, what if we as in, you know, just creators or whatever, gave these people ideas and power? Oh, like back, let's go back. It was like, what was it? 1984 was written in what? 1920 something or 69 or 59, something like that.
Hold on. It was earlier than that. 1940 something, I believe.
Maybe it was.
When
but let's say it was written then, and then people in power like come in after the weekend and be like, oh, I just read this book.
English author George Orwell published 1984 and 1949 as a warning against totalitarianism.
Yeah. So let's say they write that, and then in the 60s, someone walks in after a long weekend, and be like, I just read this book.
Oh man, I read this book.
Right.
It had some good ideas. Wait, what the fuck?
Well, it'd be kind of interesting the way they did things. So, and then just that plants the seeds. So that book planted the seeds for everything that's going on now.
I missed the show Ancient Aliens.
Wasn't that the guy with like the weird?
He was one of them.
Pomodoro crazy.
Yeah, he was one of the.
That's like the meme Aliens. That whole thing. I didn't watch it. I never watched it.
You ever stop to think maybe they haven't come back because they've realized, oh fuck, we left them alone. We're like the kid that, you know what? That's what it is. Ancient Aliens were here and like, here guys, play with crayons until we get back from the store. Oh, they come back. Oh fuck this shit, I'm out.
The Fermi paradox. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Like we have such a vast universe, or possibly bubble universes and multiverse. Like
I taught somebody about the Mandela effect.
How come nobody has visited us?
A trucker friend, because they all look on the outside like, oh, we'll come back.
I think the best explanation of that is, let's say there are other advanced civilizations in the universe, and we're here in this mindset of all of us, we're so important. America, or not America,
the world,
politics, humans, like we're so advanced, we're so this and that, but you know, we're talking about highly advanced civilizations somewhere else. We're probably an anthill. How often do you walk along, unless you're looking down and just happen to see it, you're walking along anywhere and notice any anthill? Fuck no.
Touché.
You don't give a shit. You don't care about it, and that's probably what we are if we're going on the Fermi paradox. We're probably just nothing. We're just we're a tiny planet in a small solar system with a small sun that's just way off.
This is going to sound kind of nerdy, but the movie Avatar with the blue aliens, you know, the one character, Jake Sully, makes the comment about riding the big orange bird. He's like, he never looks up because he doesn't have to worry about anything being bigger than him. Same concept. They never look down because they don't have to worry about anything looking at them eye to eye.
Right.
Apex predators don't look down because anything beneath them is trivial.
Right. Yeah. So maybe that's just it. Maybe we're just rabbits.
I think we're ants.
Well, if you look, I mean, you know, And then that's why we have abortion now, because we're all rabbits. We're just fucking reproducing, and they don't want to.
Well, if you stop on that, actually, if you look at it from an animal construct versus social construct, ants dig their colonies and they go down. We're just building our colonies up. We're almost
giant phallic symbols and buildings.
You can look at New York City. New York City. Look at the New York City skyline.
Look at all the penises everywhere.
It's just giant fucking the New York City skyline. Right. It's all these little peaks. So
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
You flip an anthill upside down, or right side up for us, I guess.
You see Elon Musk tweet, said if I like mysteriously die or something, it's like, oh, what the hell was it? Something about if I mysteriously like commit suicide or something like that, or it wasn't me. It was just like, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah,
along those lines.
I did hear something about him.
What the hell was that about?
Pretty morbid comment.
No, don't take Elon Musk. We need even places, like pieces on this, like this game of chess between everything that's going on. This is fantastic. This is great to watch. It makes for good content too to talk about.
Yeah, it does.
You take Elon Musk out. Fuck, man, what are we gonna talk about now?
Alex Jones.
He has been
quiet.
He's got like lawsuits and shit he's dealing with right now.
Geez.
So he he filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, not like for losing money, I guess to restructure his finances.
Okay.
To, according to him, to show the government like where all their money is, where it's going. Because I guess they're claiming he's like not paying taxes, something along those lines. Jesus. I only vaguely know about it, but that's why he's been he's still doing his show all the time, but he's been kind of quiet in a lot of other shows.
Yeah.
Just to end with Alex Jones, he was on some podcast I watched, or a video podcast, where they were painting rocks, just chatting. Dude, it was hilarious. I was like, dude, it's Alex Jones. Never mind any opinion about politics or anything that, like, if you agree or disagree with him. Alex Jones looks like a fucking awesome guy to hang out with. Like, he's hilarious, and he just doesn't give a shit. I'm like, they're having drinks and doing one of those like wine sipping things, kind of like that, where you
wine tasting, yeah,
yeah. That's what he's doing, and painting rocks, and they're talking about conspiracies. I'm like, that's a fucking awesome day. Like, wouldn't it be awesome to be like, yeah, I painted rocks and had a Chardonnay, me and Alex Jones. And we were talking about.
I realized. So how's work today? Oh, I realized something. What's that? I don't like Pinois. What? Yeah, Alex Jones, good buddy of mine.
Yeah, I don't like Benoit either. He killed his son and wife.
Oh, we ought to talk about some of these
conspiracy. There's people that saying he didn't do it.
Exactly. I heard something about a phone call, like an hour. There's an audio.
Yeah, it was after the fact. He was already dead, and it was someone made some kind of call from his phone.
Yeah.
That brought up this whole thing. Maybe that's not true, but that's what I heard. That, maybe he didn't kill himself and his kid or his family. For another time. Actually, we'll have to get rich for that one, because I bet you knows about that one.
Yeah, it'd be fun to have a 3-panel again. 3 guys.